Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do like a chit chat video talking about like the pros and cons of living in Korea, and I feel like I have enough experience from living in Korea for like 4.5 years, and Aiden's beside me. He's working on his computer. So he will make some comments if he has something to add into this video. So let's start. Before I mention the pros and cons, a lot of people have also been asking, like, how do you like being back in Texas? Like, how do the kids like it back in Texas? My answer is, I love it. I love being back in Texas, where I was like born and raised. All my family's here, houses, the parking spaces, everything's so spacious, like the roads, not a lot of people outside, not a lot of cars, and no like dusty microdust skies. The skies here, it's like beautiful every single day. Oh, and I get to eat barbecue like anytime I want. So Korea, should I start with the pros or the cons? I guess I'll start with the goods. So there are a lot of good things about Korea. Food, of course. There's a variety of choices that you can pick out of for your meals. They do really good delivery services, very late night restaurants. I even did like delivery for McDonald's at like 3 a.m. They're so fast. Like the guys in the motorcycles, they come in like 10 minutes, even like jjajangmyeon. So the foods are really good. The cafes, of course, they have really pretty nice cafes. Oh yeah, so they have really good transportation. So you don't have to have a car if you decide to live there. But the only reason we ended up getting a car like after 1 or 2 years of living in Korea is because we had kids, and whenever there was like rainy or snowy days, it was just hard to travel in like buses and subways with the kids. And also we traveled a lot like by car. We drove to a lot of beaches and stuff, so that's why we decided to get a car. But if you're like single or you don't have any kids or family and you just want to like live in Korea to experience, some good things about living in Korea apartments is that it's more affordable. The monthly rents are cheaper, but you do have to pay like a down payment in order to get lower rental prices. So yeah, if you do have the money to pay down payment, then you can live off every month with low rent prices. And remember, like from my vlogs, we lived in a really nice like villa type of like first floor apartment. The last apartment that we were living at right before we moved to America, that place was really nice. We had like basically 4 rooms and first floor, and we paid like monthly rent of like 1,000 USD. Also, you get all the deposit back once you move out of the apartment. So that's one good thing. And for that space and nice apartment in Dallas, now it's maybe like over $2,000 for an apartment that size.
That
right?
size now, 3,000.
Oh yeah, over 2,500. Because even Dallas, the past few years while we were in Korea, the house prices and like apartment rental prices like went up so high. We were so shocked. Go to
Really close
apartments.
to subway station, bus.
Most of the apartments, it's close by to walk to like restaurants, stores, bus stations. Subways. A lot of the apartments that we looked at and we lived at, the minimum requirement was a 2-year contract. So keep that in mind if you guys are ever planning to move in Korea, because we moved to Korea thinking that we would just live there for 1 year, but it ended up being a 2-year contract. We found out once we got there, and then just like, I don't know, when the 2-year was coming close, like we got used to living there. We made new friends. Kids were doing good at school. That's why we extended it and decided to live there 2 years more. So like,
It ended up being like almost 5 years.
yeah, 4.5 years. I can't believe that. I still remember when we announced that we were moving to Korea here on YouTube, and we're like, we'll be back. We're gonna go for like a year. What's that all?
Convenience store is always there.
Oh yeah, and our apartment was attached to a CU convenience store, and oh my gosh, all our money went there. Like we went there like maybe 5 times a day. Kids got ice cream there, chips there, like. But it's paid, yeah. But it's open 24 hours, so it's good because we could just walk there anytime to buy stuff.
Yeah, that's why I got big.
Yeah, Aiden said he gained weight from there because they actually sell like the convenience store, like tteokbokki, ramen. And you guys, people that watch mukbang, you guys see all those CU convenience like GS mukbangs. So many places you could visit, like a lot of beautiful beaches, and like Jeju-do was only not even an hour away by plane. And before all the corona happened, like Japan was only like an hour or something away too, so we went there a lot. We used to drive to like Busan area where his mom is at, like Ulsan. We drove to Yangyang and Gangneung, 석초, 전주, 경주, Yeosu. Yeosu was really fun, but it was like a 6-hour drive.
That's most far driving.
Yeah, but it was a lot of fun. That was 6 hours. And yeah, Jeju-do, I think we went there like 7-8 times during the 4 years that we were there. And every time we went, Aiden made like an itinerary for like 7 days. So each time we were there for like 6-7 days. Sonu says he wants to visit Korea, but not to live there. But he's like, 그냥 놀러 가고 싶어. Staycations are really popular in Korea. So a lot of people go on a vacation to nice hotels because they have like nice restaurants inside. Some has like a casino place, the Paradise Hotel had
really
casino,
cool.
but it's only for like non-Koreans that are allowed to gamble. And there's like game stuff in there,
Swimming pool.
circus, swimming pool, like really nice swimming pools, outdoor and indoors. So yeah, staycation, hotels, or like vacations. And Seoul actually has a lot of things to do there too, like Lotte Tower. What was that? Everland and that big tower, Yuksamo building.
Yuksam building.
Yeah, Yuksam building. So they have like aquarium and stuff inside. And they have like COEX Mall, which is a huge mall. You probably saw like pictures of that mall, maybe on Instagram, where they have that huge library in the center. I met a lot of people there, and a lot of my, I guess, YouTube 동생s also live in Korea, like Joan and Sunny and Jen, Miss. So Sangha. So, of course, Sangha, she should have been number. Yeah. So yeah, it was fun because we got to like hang out a lot, vlog together. Whereas here in Dallas, I'm like the only one here. So
There are some, but
yeah, I heard there's a lot more YouTubers now. But before I was like the only YouTuber here in Dallas. But yeah, I didn't have anyone to like do collabs with. Okay, so I think that's pretty much all the pros of living in Korea. And now the cons. So cons of living in a Korean apartment. Like I mentioned, you have to pay a down payment to live in a decent apartment, and that down payment can be a lot, ranges from like $15,000 to $100,000. And like I mentioned, the more down you pay, the less monthly rent you have to pay. And you do get all that money back when you move out, all your down payment. But just having to have that money in order to move in. So that might be a con for some people. Another thing is language barrier. Since I'm more fluent in English, like it was harder for me to like, get papers done whenever I went to like government, like city halls, or like papers at school I needed to fill out for the kids. Like I didn't really understand, so Aiden had to do most of the stuff. You know how Yeonu, he attended up to 3rd grade in Korea, so we have experience of like being an elementary mom in Korea, and from what I experienced, like it could be different for other people in other schools, but where we were at, like I feel like we had to be in this like mom group. Like whenever school or class starts, one mom, like the leader of the classroom, she makes a katok like group. So all the parents are like, all the moms are in that chat room, and like that's where all the moms talk about like meeting together, having brunch together, like having the kids all meet at like a cafe, or like sharing school information. So if you don't participate in that group, it's kind of like you get lost or you're not up to date with stuff. And the kids and your kid might be kind of outsider, like left out during like play dates and stuff like that. So I remember like whenever I don't check my katok, I will have like 300 messages that I haven't read because all the moms, like 25 moms, are just like chatting. So that was kind of hard. And since they all know that I don't really speak a lot of Korean like fluently, they don't really talk to me directly. And whenever I like question something, they'll just like ignore what I said and just like just keep going on and on. So anyways, at least I met good friends at Yeonu's kindergarten though. That's where I met like Suin and our comedian couple friend. Our kids had really wonderful teachers and staffs and principal. Aiden was a big part of the school. He was like, what is that called? Like a parent president, president of the parents teacher association. Yeah. Another con might be it's kind of hard to find a good job in Korea. Like it might sound easy, like, oh, you speak English, like go teach English in Korea. It might sound easy, but it's actually harder than you think, because Aiden tried doing it. My brother, when he was visiting, he was looking into it, but they look at a lot of stuff, like you need a degree, you need experience, you need a visa, you need like so many things if you're an American citizen. So it might be easier if you were a Korean citizen, but since we're an American citizen, I feel like it was harder for us to find jobs. And even like, the taxi, kind of like Uber, even that you needed a Korean citizen. If you do plan to like move to Korea for a little bit to experience, and you're thinking about working, then look into it before, make sure you get the job and then move, because you might have a hard time trying to look for a job after moving there. One thing I really didn't like was all the microdust. Like it was so bad. It looked like there was a war going on outside because it was so dusty. There was barely any days I could actually see the clouds and the sun, because it was like it was so dusty, the skies. And
you couldn't see the blue sky at all.
Yeah, it was always kind of like gloomy and gray. Yeah, because of all the dust. So I'm loving the fresh air here in Texas. I'm just like, the first thing I did when we arrived, I took a deep breath, because in Korea you can't really do that because the air is so bad. But there was few days where the air was good, because there is an app where we check how bad the air is for that day, the microdust, and the green meant it was good, the red was bad, and then the black with the mask was like deadly. So those days we just stayed in the house. We couldn't open the windows, and of course when we're driving we couldn't put the windows down. We always had to close it. But here in America, like when I'm driving, I have the windows down. I'm always like letting the air in the house, so I open all the windows whenever I'm cleaning. In Korea, my allergies, because I think the dust, it was so bad. Like I had to take allergy medicines every single day. Aiden needed to take it every single day.
I actually had to take it before. I feel like I'm gonna have
He went to the doctor a lot because he had to get all this nasal spray and stuff. I'll just get it sometimes, allergies here, not like every day like in Korea. And Yeonu's allergy was really bad in Korea as well, but here it's not that bad. I feel like in Korea, like the kids, even elementary kids, they study so much compared to here. Like when Yeonu and Sonu were in 1st and 3rd grade in Korea, like they had 8 textbooks with them every day in their backpack. It was so heavy. They were like going like this, hunched back, because his backpack was so heavy, and they just have to work so hard. And even after school, they have to go to like Nunopi and all these after school programs in order to catch up in class. Like, not everyone has to go to Nunopi and all the after school stuff, but if you don't, they'll be kind of behind. I don't know why they do that, but yeah, even math and stuff, they expect you to know more. So that's why even Yeonu had to attend Nunopi, which is like a after school academy, to be caught up. And that's where he learned how to like write and read Korean, because the school actually doesn't teach it. They just expect you to know it. In America, like the 1st graders, it's like they don't really have a lot of homework, and once they're done with school, they're done, and they could still enjoy being a kid. Whereas in Korea, they have to kind of like study all day during the weekday. So I kind of like that, because that's how I grew up in America, like going to school in elementary here. Like I noticed it's a lot harder in Korea, and they're more advanced compared to here, especially math. Like things that Yeonu learned in 2nd grade, I think, math, he's learning it right now in 3rd grade. And he's like, oh my gosh, why are they learning this now? Like, I learned this in 2nd grade. Was there any other cons? Parking in Korea, I think it's pretty much same as like New York.
Driving.
Yeah, driving wise, people are like kind of,
Aggressive drivers.
yeah, especially in Seoul. And the parking is horrible. The street roads are so small. People are always like jumping out of like random places, so you have to be careful that you don't hit them. I think that was pretty much all the pros and cons that I can think of at the moment of living in Korea. If you guys have any questions, please comment down below and I'll try to answer as much as I can. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on my next video. Bye guys!